When you're done dieting, this video is the video that would change everything for you, because weight loss isn't physical. It's mental, spiritual, and identity level base. Once the inside shifts, the outside follows. If you live in America, you can't go more than a block without seeing a nutrition book, gurus, diets, gyms, workouts, gimmicks, or late night TV commercials selling you 30-second abs. Yet, we are one of the most obese nations in the world. How does that happen? It's obvious it's not a knowledge gap that's keeping people in bondage. So why are so many people sick and tired of being sick and tired? If you stick with me, not only am I going to explain what the challenge is, but I'm going to give you a solution that will make this video worth every second of your time. Let me just say that after working with more than 5,000 people in the area of fitness and nutrition, I can tell you that the breakthrough never starts with food or exercise. It starts with identity. If you skip this part, you'll continue to jump from coach to coach, from gym to gym, nutrition plan to nutrition plan, and honestly, until the old identity is replaced, you will never stop the crazy cycle. Here's the part most diets talk about: macros, calories, and points. No one is really talking to you about how your brain is loyal to the old version of you, the stressed, rushed, emotional eater. And until you create clarity, a new strong why, enough to actually override this old identity, your brain will continue to drag you back into old habits. By the time you leave your parents' house, okay, you have over 70,000 hours of conditioning passed down from your parents, friends, and culture. How you see the world, how you speak, eat, all these things are conditioned into you before you move out. It starts when you're a baby. What is the first thing you do as a parent when you hear a baby cry? You hand it a bottle of milk, right? That lie gets automatically anchored into the baby's emotional nervous system. And it says that anytime there is friction in that person's life, food will alleviate that issue. That continues into adolescence and adult life. That lie perpetuates. It continues on, right? It just doesn't die when you're a baby. More importantly, if your parents coddled you with food, anytime adversity kicks in, you're going to want to reach for the sugary snack that secretes dopamine and makes you feel better for 30 to 60 seconds. This is why in the Empty Your Bucket nutrition plan, the first step isn't addressing food, it's clarity. You must know exactly how you've been conditioned by your parents, by your culture, by the people around you, and acknowledge that you need to begin a reconditioning process if you're going to overcome this, okay? This is the area where most nutritionists and most coaches don't talk about, because they just simply don't have that knowledge. We come with this previous conditioning, and in order for us to overcome all of these things, we have to get rid of the old conditioning and start a reconditioning process. By the way, if you're at the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you've tried everything and nothing has worked, I'm gonna drop my link down below so that we can have a conversation and see if we're a good fit. This is no sales pitch, no pressure, just straight strategy that will give you that clarity that you need. Let me tell you a story. Just last week, I was speaking to a woman and she said, JT, I've been dieting for 20 years. I spent money on programs, DVDs, nutritionists, all of it. Nothing has worked. Food has consumed my mind for 2 decades. And to be honest, I'm tired of thinking about these things all day long. She said, if I hadn't seen the results my friends got on your program, honestly, I wouldn't have given you a second thought, because I've been promised the moon and the stars and nothing has happened for me. Guys, let me just say that that's not a food problem. That is a psychological term called learned helplessness. This is when a person has tried everything, or at least they think they've tried everything and nothing has worked. At this point, they feel broken, they're frustrated because they've tried so many things. This honestly leads to an exhaustion in their identity. And that identity keeps people paralyzed. And what I told her next is the part that nobody ever understands or learns. And this is why most people are stuck in this area with this thinking and with this idea of learned helplessness. These 3 components will help you break free once and for all. Number 1, as simple as it sounds, it's called clarity, okay? We got to get very clear on your desired outcome, right? This is pivotal to your success. You can't drive a car looking through the rear view mirror, because guess what? You're going to crash, right? Most people chase destination goals, okay? They're looking for a specific number on the scale, or to fit into a certain kind of clothes they haven't worn in years. These goals only motivate for a short period of time. They're very superficial. The main goal inside of the Empty Your Bucket nutrition plan is to rewrite your identity. We want identity-based goals versus destination goals. An identity-based goal says, I'm the type of person who eats for my goals. We believe that every action we take has to vote towards the type of person that we would like to become. And so we're looking for identity goals, not destination goals. This is radically different from chasing these superficial metrics, because once you hit the metric, the question is, what keeps you motivated? For most people, the answer is nothing. Identity goals are different because you become a new person, the type of person who eats and exercises because you respect your body and you live in a way that proves that that is true, that that is real for you. Inside of the EYB plan, we call this building positive regard. This is such a powerful concept. And so hear me out. What this means is becoming the type of person who does what they say they're going to do. Let me give you an example. When you have a good relationship with another person, right? When you get along with another person, it's because you build rapport and you trust them. It's no different than positive regard. When you get up before your alarm goes off, you bypass the snooze button, you get to your cardio session, you stick to the meal plan all day, you honor the alarms you set for yourself, you're building rapport with yourself. This creates a conscious, a mid-conscious, and a subconscious belief that you are the type of person who does what they say they will do. This ambiguous term that people throw around all the time, right? Called discipline, right? People think this person has it, that person doesn't, or it's a pre-genetic sort of thing that people come with. Oh, that person was born disciplined. None of us are disciplined. Discipline is a set of behaviors you commit to daily, regardless of how you feel. You're not asking your emotions whether you want to do something or not. You've committed to something, and then you go and you do that behavior. Once you know you're becoming disciplined because you're actually following those behaviors, right? That discipline finally has a target. Number 2 is discipline. Discipline isn't punishment, it's alignment, right? When your identity becomes clear, discipline is simply acting like the person you decided to be once good emotions vanish. I know that's very catchy and you've probably heard it before, but I love that definition of discipline because it tells us that it's not based on a feeling or an emotion, or it's just a commitment that we make to ourselves to follow a certain set of behaviors. This is why I believe most people feel undisciplined. They only act when they feel like doing something. Discipline is doing the thing, once again, you said you were going to do even when you don't want to do it. To be more specific, discipline is a set of behaviors you commit to, rain or shine. When you repeat those behaviors consistently, people see you from afar and they call you disciplined. But discipline only matters if you repeat it. That's where consistency kicks in, which is point number 3. Consistency is where the weight actually comes off. Not perfection, but just repetition, just showing up. When you have clarity and discipline, consistency becomes a rhythm instead of a fight. I'm always amazed at this idea that if a drop of water hits the pavement in a certain spot over and over again, it can eventually put a hole in the concrete. That is insane to me, right? This is also true of getting up consistently and following a plan. Eventually, you will bring that goal to fruition, but it requires consistency. This is why the Empty Your Bucket nutrition plan focuses on simple, repeatable routines instead of complicated diet rules, right? Counting macros, calories, points, or any of those complex things that you can do for a little while, but you're not going to do it for a lifetime. So the question is, why would you entertain it at all? Rhythm beats rigidity, right? You don't want to be rigid. Every time you go into these rigid plans, you get tired, right? Your discipline muscle gets tired. But once consistency settles in, there's only one final piece that you're missing, right? So you have the clarity, you have the discipline, you have the consistency, and the final piece is what I call efficiency versus entertainment. Efficiency versus entertainment says we live in a society obsessed with instant gratification. If you order something from Amazon and it's not there the very next day, you're calling the company, wondering where it is, right? There's no patience. I learned this concept of committing to efficiency rather than entertainment from a good friend, a client of mine, when I was a personal trainer in Tampa. He was a successful family man, a businessman, beloved by his community. And one day I asked him, I said, hey, what's your secret? He said, JT, a long time ago, I realized that boring would make me healthy, wealthy, and happy. I asked him to elaborate a little bit, and he said, we live in a society that over obsesses with entertainment. The minute a relationship, career, nutrition plan, or workout routine doesn't yield immediate dividends, people jump to the next shiny thing and start all over again. He said, I am committed to efficiency, and that's why I'm successful. I believe the same is true for the EYB nutrition plan. Those who commit to efficiency versus entertainment learn to see clearly. They build powerful disciplines and stay consistent. They value efficiency over entertainment. And because of that, they don't only reach their goals, they radically reshape their lives for the positive. I hope you've enjoyed this video. More importantly, I hope you took some notes. If you didn't, I would encourage you to go back and take some notes, because this truly has the power to transform your life from the inside out. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love this video here. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Until next time.